Hello there, dear YouTubers. My name is King1993, and today is another day of me trying to explain another part of this game. And today's topic will be about how to maintain your mecha's durability. Okay, now here's the thing: no matter how strong, how much amount of durability, or let's say how fast they are, if the durability of a mecha is not maintained, then the mecha will be destroyed. Okay, the mecha will be destroyed, which is why in order to make sure that you can actually survive or let your mecha be able to survive in a durability, the first thing you must need to do is to choose a mecha that can actually be able to get away from the enemy's ambush. Okay, if the mecha is able to get away from the enemy's ambush, then that type of mecha is considered as the best quality mecha when it comes to saving their durability. And there are many other methods that can be used to make sure that the durability of a mecha is maintained. Okay, there is additional shield, there is a basic durability. Obviously it has a certain amount. Then there is a tactical skill uh, which will be different for different types of mecha. Okay, so there are many ways to actually make sure that each mecha can actually be able to survive using their different types of method, which they are gonna be able to run from one place to another within a very short period of time. The more a certain mecha is able to do that type of decision, the more a certain mecha will be able to survive in a battle. Okay, so here's the thing: I have actually come up with a 5 list. And okay, let me lower the volume. So I have come up with 5 lists, and these 5 lists will be able to help you in the regards of how to make sure that a certain mecha is able to maintain their durability for a long period of time. Okay, now this chart which I have made is called uh, durability maintenance chart. Okay, now there are main 5 of them and there are sub of them. Okay, now out of the main 5 there is dash, and there are two type of dash: crosshair dash and single directional dash. Okay, jump, long jump, normal jump. Okay, partial invisibility, only one mecha has this ability. Propulsion, many mecha has this propulsion ability. And shield, there are two type of shield activation. One is normal mecha shield, okay, which every mecha has. Another one is tactical or conditional uh, shield. Okay, so I'll be explaining them, all of them, in the training ground. Okay, so first of all, let's go to the training ground to actually talk about that. So the first one which I will be talking about is the dash based tactical dash based tactical skill. Okay, so what is the dash based tactical skill? Well, let me show you. So for example, let's say you have this mecha. Okay, so this mecha has a crosshair. Okay, so as you can see here, there is this crosshair, and you can basically use this crosshair to actually go any place, whether it is up, down, left, right, you can go, but not behind. So from that point of perspective, whenever you basically use this mecha's tactical skill, what will happen is this mecha will be able to go forward and will be able to bend at any place wherever this crosshair is able to point. Okay, so for example, let's say I go up or down, this mecha was able to go up and down easily as well. So what does this mean? This means this is a crosshair based dash. Okay, and this crosshair based dash is actually better than single directional dash. Now what is single directional dash? Well, single directional dash is a example of some other type of mecha. So let me show you. Now single directional dash is something that some mecha, not some, a lot of mecha has. Let's say this mecha has single directional dash, and let's say this mecha, I actually do not remember this mecha. I think this can go actually multiple direction. Anyway, there is this mecha. So this mecha, these two mecha are a good example of what single directional dash is like. Okay, now let me show you what do I mean by single directional dash. Okay, so when this mecha move forwards, obviously you will be able to control for a certain period of time. See, but here is the thing: this mecha cannot go up. Okay, so what does this mean? It means that any mecha that has the falling capability, such as it move backwards and you use the dashing capability, it will go back. Okay, now once this is again refreshed, and as this mecha move left and you use the tactical skill again, it gets to the left. Okay, but you have no control over how much left or which place of the left you might be able to go. So let's say I am trying to go, sorry, right. Okay, let's say I'm trying to go right. Can I change my direction? Yes, I can change my direction. But here's the thing, any mecha that has the ability to go front, back, left and right direction type of single directional dash only cannot go up in the sky or get down to the ground. Like, why is that? That is basically the limitation of every mecha. Like, the developer of the game tried to balance that out. That's the whole thing, and nothing more and nothing less. Okay, now let's talk about the jumping capability. Now when it comes to the jumping capability, there is a normal jump and there is a high jump. Okay, so this caramel and this flamenco, both of them has that same capability. Okay, so for example, I'll be showing you the flamenco, then you will be able to understand what caramel is like as well. So this is the normal jump and this is the tactical skill based jump. This tactical skill based jump will be able to make a certain mecha move a very long distance within a very short period of time. Okay, and obviously after landing there, it basically just lands there and nothing else. So the thing about this and this normal jump is they are basically jump. So basically speaking, what happens is when you are suddenly getting ambushed, your only hope of survival is to go in a certain place. But the problem with this thing is so much inaccurate in terms of hiding that you'd rather not be using this mecha if you are a pro player. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, the thing is, let's say I want to hide behind a certain object. Okay, and the thing is I cannot actually do 100% of that. Why? Because as you can see here, this line, this red line you can see here, it cannot go beyond that. It basically stops there. So what happens when I release, this mecha will just land on this, but I wanted to hide here. Okay, so that's the thing. So this is basically the jump. Okay, and there are also mechas, okay, which can do propulsion thing. Okay, so what is propulsion? Propulsion is basically like let's say I use hot steel again. So there are actually many mechas in this game that can use propulsion. For example, okay, I didn't mean to do that, sorry about that. Okay, let it come. Okay, here. Okay, the thing is propulsion based jump is something like majority of the mecha in this game has, such as I'll be talking about that later. So let me first show you what propulsion based evasion skill is like. Okay, for example, let's say you are suddenly getting attacked by enemies, then you must need to hide immediately. Obviously you have used up your tactical skill, then what can you do? You can basically jump upward, okay, and then hide behind a certain object, and by doing so you will be able to save the mecha's durability level. So that is another thing. This thing is called propulsion. So propulsion will also be able to help you in that regards. Propulsion is almost like the tactical skill. Okay, this is the tactical skill. Propulsion is almost similar like tactical skill, but it is slow, nothing more. Okay, it is just slow, but at least there is double the option. Okay, immediately, let's say you have entered a certain place using the dash, and then suddenly you are getting attacked, you can immediately use the propulsion to get away from that place, as easy as that. Now there are a lot of mecha in this game that can actually use propulsion. For example, this mecha can use propulsion, this mecha can use propulsion, let's see, this mecha can also use propulsion, this mecha also, and yeah, those are the mechas that can actually use propulsion. Now let's talk about another one, which is called partial invisibility. Now why am I saying partial invisibility? Well, the thing is partial invisibility because when I use the tactical skill of this mecha, what happens is this mecha turns invisible. But the problem with this invisibility is it can still be seen by the enemy. So you could say this is a camouflage and not total invisibility. Okay, so what can you do about this? Well, you can do nothing about it, but when you are facing against player that is extremely long distance away, this is one of the method which will be able to help you in that regard. So what do I mean by this? I mean that when you basically use partial invisibility, and if you are a very long distance away, even the enemies will not be able to see you in that regard. Okay, so obviously from that point of perspective, this is a very good thing. And not only that, this only for this mecha there is a certain option. For example, if you go to the battle setting and as you scroll downwards, you'll be able to see that there is this option called stay invisibility as long as you are not moving. Once you have activated this mecha will be able to stay invisible infinitely. Okay, so this is another thing which is only available for this mecha only, and this is called partial invisibility. This is what basically I say. Okay, now, or you could say some other names such as partial camouflage or camouflage in general. Okay, now last but not least is gonna be I forgot the name. Okay, last but not least is the shield. Okay, so there are actually two mechas that can actually produce shield when they use their tactical skill. One of them is Firefox, another one is called Ranger. Okay, and there are other mechas as well that use different method of activating the shield. For example, when this mecha lift off, okay, it produces a shield. Similar can be said about this one. When this mecha lift off, it basically produces a shield. So flying mecha such as this one will be able to produce a shield every time it basically lift off. So that is another thing. So I'll be talking about this one later. First of all, let me give you the example of Ranger. So let's say you have activated this shield mechanic. Okay, for example, when you collide with the enemy, a shield will be produced. So what happened? So whenever you collide with the enemy, a certain shield is produced, and it is gonna stay active for about 4 seconds or maybe 5 seconds. Now what about Firefox? For Firefox, the same thing. Once you use Firefox, you just have to use this mecha's dashing capability, and once you use this mecha's dashing capability, immediately a shield is formed and it stays active for about 4 seconds. So yeah. Now, as for the shield capability of two more mechas, maybe this one and this one, let me give you an example. So this is Hurricane. So the thing about Hurricane is whenever Hurricane lift up, it will basically create a shield. So recover 100 shield when switching into aircraft mode. So whenever this thing switches into aircraft mode, the shield will be created. Okay, and it has a large quantity of shield as you can see here. Now, obviously, this mecha is not taking any damage, so the shield producing is not gonna appear. Now there are another shield option. For example, these two. Let me show you their shield. Okay. So this mecha has a certain shield, which this is basically called the tactical shield. So it basically creates a shield, and this shield basically blocks almost all of the attack except some of the attacks of some mechas actually enters the shield. So I cannot say this is the best shield. All I can say that this is a shield good enough to stop frontal attack or maybe attack from behind. And the last shield which I'll be talking about is this one. I do not know what this is called. I guess this is a conditional base shield. This shield can be activated even without the use of tactical skill. So when you use the tactical skill, the shield gets activated here, and if you press the E button will also create the shield. Now it has additional shield. Okay, once this shield bar gets depleted, it will basically turn off, and after a certain period of time, this shield will get activated again. Okay, so these are the total type of shield that can be used. Now, what am I trying to say? What I am saying is that there are many different ways to protect a mecha's durability. Okay, but all thing comes down to a certain simple topic. Okay, you will be getting a multiple choice of which type of tactical skill you will be using. Obviously, it is going to be different for each mecha. For example, as I have shown you, that there is jump based. For example, for Caramel there is tactical based. For Firefox, or let's say Ranger, there is shield based. For this type. Okay, and there is even shield for this one as well. When this mecha uses its secondary attack, it also produces a shield. So how can we say which mecha is actually the best? Well, the thing is, the best mecha in my recommendation in this game is the mecha that can use tactical skill to run away from the battlefield and can also use propulsion. A very good example would be like this mecha here. This mecha here can actually get away from the battlefield very easily because of its propulsion, which can go up, and also its capability of running away from the battlefield using its tactical skill. Similar can be said about this one as well. And not for this one. This one only has tactical skill of dashing, but this mecha cannot use propulsion. So let me show you this one. This mecha, when you use this mecha skill, it will quickly move from one place to another, and it will basically give you enough time to actually hide from the enemy. Okay, and obviously it uses fuel, so you have to be careful about that. Now when it comes to hot steel, obviously hot steel has separate thing. For example, hot steel can use tactical skill without the fuel and uses fuel for propulsion, but this mecha here uses the tactical uses fuel for the tactical skill. Okay, and also this mecha uses fuel for propulsion, something like this. Okay, so at the end of the day, any mecha that has the capability to run away from the battlefield a lot easier are the mecha that can actually able to survive from a longer period of battle. Okay, for example, Firefox, or let's say even this mecha here, which is called Aether. These mechas have good quality shield and also running away capability. Basically speaking, their what should I call it? Their tactical skill cooldown is actually very short. Okay, for example, let me summon here a Aether. So Aether, if you were to use core 1, then what will happen is there will be these 3 tactical skill dash. Okay, so what does it mean? It means that this mecha has a lot higher chance of running away from the battlefield than, let's say, Firefox. Okay, so let me show you. Let's say I want to go to that higher platform over there. I can go up, then double jump, and I'm basically out of the stadium. So that much of a difference it is when you are basically using a mecha that can jump from one place to another within a very short period of time. And any mecha that can basically get away from the battlefield as fast as this will be able to survive a lot easier. Okay, for example, even though I have shown you Ranger in terms of colliding with the enemies and produce a certain shield, let's say I want to even give this mecha more running away capabilities. Okay, for example, instead of using this okay, instead of using this core 1, let me use core 2. So when I use core 2, this mecha can now basically have 2 tactical. Okay, now also at the same time is gonna be giving this mecha blitz mode. So basically speaking, what is gonna happen now is this mecha is gonna have double the amount of shield. Okay, so basically speaking, let's say you use the tactical skill once and immediately your shield is down, then what are you gonna do? The next thing you are gonna do is to attack again another mecha with its tactical skill. So that is one thing. You are basically now almost invincible because you are able to use the tactical skill 2 times. That is point number 1, and point number 2 is you are also producing a shield. Okay, now you can also get away from the battlefield very easily. For example, if I were to, let's say, jump on this place and then use one dash and another dash, and I'm basically out of the stadium. So this is basically what I am trying to say. The more tactical skill, or the more dashing capability, or let's say the more shield making capability a certain mecha has, or the more propulsion ability a certain mecha has, the more they will be able to get away from the battlefield. Okay, now in case if you're wondering, then what about Mirage? Well, for Mirage, it is one of those things like what this type of mecha is gonna do is, let's say suddenly is getting attacked, immediately hide behind this place and then go to some higher platform to get advantage of the enemy. And in this manner, this mecha is gonna able to destroy any mecha that was trying to ambush this mecha here. So what does this mean? It means the more tactical skill, the more jumping capability, the more shield making capability, the more propulsion, or let's say the more uh hidden, sorry, not hidden, I mean invisibility a certain mecha has, the more they will be able to survive. And you must need to use this skill, and if you use this skill on a regular basis, then your mecha is going to be able to survive the battlefield for a longer period of time. Okay, so this is my total conclusion. Now there are some other techniques as well that you might want to consider using. Okay, for example, there are tactical skill lowering, cooldown lowering capabilities, and there are also capabilities that basically increases a certain mecha's durability, or there are also certain options that can basically make the mecha's uh, normal shield stay higher. For example, when it comes to Rom's ability, Rom mecha skill has the ability to lower the combat skill cooldown by 7%. Okay, and then there is Vita. Vita has a certain thing which is called quick shield recovery or quick shield recharge. It basically creates shield within a very short period of time. Okay, and there are also other pilot as well. For example, okay, not this one, this one here. Okay, this one has the ability to it, heal or heal the durability of a mecha. Okay, or let's say this one. This one has the ability to actually use this thing called Hive infrastructure. Now, what does this Hive infrastructure does? It basically provides the mecha with more additional durability. Okay, so that is the thing about these mechas, that the more you understand what the ability of this skill set is, the more you will be able to survive the battlefield. Okay, for example, this one has fuel. Obviously fuel is good, but fuel is not going to be able to protect your uh, mecha's main durability, so you have to be careful. What about this one? So if we go to this section here, you will see that this character mecha skill has the ability to turn 10% of mecha's durability into shield. Okay, now what about this one? This one will only increase the damage output but will not provide additional shield, so not good in that. This one is neither good as well. This one increases the movement speed. Now this one is good because it basically increases the speed of a mecha, which will basically make the mecha take less damage from the enemy. And then there is this one, which it basically increases the attack, but obviously you cannot run away from the battlefield easily. So obviously from that regard, this one is good for people who want to use a certain mecha by increasing their damage output. But at the end of the day, if you cannot maintain your durability, you cannot win. Now here is another one, which is basically reload. Sometimes what happens in the battlefield is your mecha will be losing their what should I call it, weapon slots, and to quickly reload, obviously you must need quick reload option, and this Cyrus is able to do that. This one basically creates an extra recovery ability. Okay, and uh, this one are basically damage based. So what am I trying to say? I'm saying that if you are planning on surviving in the battlefield, okay, of the Super Mecha Champion game, the more durability shield or whatever I have shown you in this place here, the more this thing which are gonna be available to you, the more you will be able to survive in the long run. Okay, so uh last thing should be these modules. Okay, so when it comes to modules, there is quick cooldown plan. Okay, basically speaking, it is gonna make your tactical skill available a lot faster. Then there is efficient transmission, which will basically movement speed, will increase the movement speed of your mecha. There are many other things as well. Obviously you must need to use them as much as possible. Okay, if you think that this video is interesting regarding of which type of tactical skill you should be using, I would say that the main type of tactical skill you should be using is any one of the following one. Which one? Dashing, okay, uh propulsion and shield, because with dashing, you will be dashing into places that will basically help you hide. Okay, and jumping is gonna get you from one place to another, but also at the same time the jumping mechanics in this game is actually not very good. Okay, partial invisibility is for snow mirrors only at the moment, but do trust me, partial invisibility for snow mirrors is actually good enough so that when snow mirrors uses this ability, it will be able to hide for a longer period of time. Okay, and there is propulsion. Propulsion will basically make the mecha go to a higher platform or maybe lower platform to avoid the attack. And shield is basically the ability to make the mecha produce a shield, which will basically help the mecha maintain its durability. Okay, so this is a long topic, sorry about that. And if you find this video interesting, then please give a like and subscribe and click the bell notification icons so that I'll be able to give you guys more information based things about this game as much as possible. Okay, so goodbye and stay safe and see you again next time.